Hello, everyone. Always, always one of my favorite times of the year. Don't get to do this as often because there aren't 15, 13, 4, however many pay-per-views, somewhere between 12 and 14, 15. You have the network exclusive and, Saudi Arabia, Australia. I feel like it's 15 or 16 pay-per-views with the quote-unquote main roster, Raw and SmackDown. But we get a special treat tomorrow. Tomorrow, NXT TakeOver Portland. Very, very excited. Unfortunately, I will work, so I will be streaming. I'm probably going to cut the stream early. People have a really bad tendency of spoiling stuff in chat, even though I ask them not to during wrestling pay-per-views. And since, I can't watch, I'll have to adjust the stream time. We'll figure that as it comes. But that said, let's talk about TakeOver Portland. Let me get my laptop set up over here fully, and let's swap it over. Hi. I'm actually just getting off of work. Really tired. But I wanted to get this video done before I go to sleep. It should be posted sometime, probably around the time I go to work, so I can interact with people on YouTube or such during breaks. But there's a 6-match card. We know usually they have to, if you're at the event, they'll have a match before. Because they'll usually record, I guess in the past, since NXT was taped, they would record matches, and then you would see it on the show. But 6 matches tomorrow. We have 4 NXT titles on the line. And then we have a street fight and a very, very fun match that is not a non-title match that I'll get to later. I don't have a lot to say about that. Hate being tired, but I know I'm not going to have a chance to record later. So first, let's talk about a interesting match. I thought they missed an opportunity to. I'll talk about that. The street fight. Tegan Nox, Dakota Kai. So, watching the Royal Rumble, you saw one come in. I just knew we're gonna have this. They're gonna have this match. This feud has to have a match or multiple, but at least a match. And it seemed like a perfect opportunity for them to set it up or add to it by having them meet in the ring during the Rumble. Doesn't happen. For whatever reason. But this match I find curious. So, got one returning from injury, the betrayal on the other side, going heel. Usually, I'm a good guy in this case because you want them to get their you want the comeuppance, you want the revenge, you want the good guy to be able to overcome. But I want this feud to continue. Having it be a street fight should be a very interesting match. Off the top of my head, I can't think of too many women's street fights that I've seen. I've seen other matches with, other gimmick matches, TLC, Hell in a Cell. But I can't think of a street fight that I've seen off the top of my head, or at least very recently. I'm going to hope that Dakota wins. I know that's not the popular answer, but I hope Dakota wins. I'm going to pick her to win. I want this feud to continue. Ultimately, Tegan will go over in the feud, I believe. But for now, if this feud is going to continue like I'm hoping it does, the heel needs to win because you still need to have the chase. So I'm going to say it's going to be a really good match. I don't know if it'll be the kickoff match. Somewhere in the middle, maybe second or the fourth match. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to root for the bad guy. So, go Dakota, get that W. Future Star Award winner, too. Don't forget. So, she's in store for big things this year. I will skip the other one for now because I want to talk about it a lot if you guys know me. I wanted to wear the shirt, and I just this is what I was wearing when I got home. North American Championship match. This is an interesting one. So, you're going to have face versus face. Sometimes face versus face and heel versus heel doesn't work very well. The whole friends competing against each other. I'm just going to be very blunt with this one. I'm a big fan of both of them. But Keith Lee, I feel, is going to be in line for a big push in 2020. And if he's just going to win his first singles title, that belt's not changing hands. I think it's pretty safe to say that Keith Lee is going to win this match. Uh, it pains me. I like DD very much. Yeah, that's why I call him. Sorry. I like him a lot, but I think that this is going to be, I think it should be a pretty solid match. I don't think it'll be my favorite on the card in terms of like where I end up ranking the match, at least in my opinion going in. But I do expect Keith Lee to win this match. It should be a little back and forth, allow like in most NXT matches, especially at TakeOver, both combatants or all combatants, if it's a multi superstar match, allow them to everyone to shine and show their offense. This will work for both. But like I said, Keith Lee, he's limitless. He will continue his reign as NXT North American Champion. Tag Team Champs, Undisputed Era, and the Broserweights. You know, I do like Pete Dunne a lot. I like Matt Riddle a lot, but it's something about the Undisputed Era. So I was kind of wondering, coming into this year, you have the prophecy coming true. Strong North American Championship. O'Reilly and Fish, the tag champs. And then obviously Mr. Cole as your NXT champion. Roddy loses the title earlier this month, or this year. Is it time for the Undisputed Era to start showing cracks? I think this is going to be the kickoff match. Usually the tag title, I feel tag matches are of late have been. This is going to be a really, really good match. I like the style, the contrasting styles you have in Dunn and Riddle, but Fish and O'Reilly, they are so good as a team. You also have to factor in Strong has nothing else going on. He'll be around. Velveteen Dream, may he be around. Play a little interference and kind of even the odds. This one was a tough one. I actually went back and forth. I was sitting at work last night and I was going back and forth on this match. I just wasn't sure who to choose. I really wasn't. But I'm going to stick with my gut. Stick with my gut and say that the titles are retained. I know you had the Dusty Rhodes Classic. It builds Riddle and Mr. Dunn up as a viable tag team, and as least formidable to compete against Fish and Riley for the titles, but O'Reilly. But I just don't feel that it's time to pull the plug on this shit. I know, say, oh, the Undisputed Era. Like these guys have had the tag titles how many times now? I don't care. They work very well together as a faction. They complement each other very well in terms of running interference and adding to the match. But their matches are always gold. I expect this to be the kickoff match. It's going to start the pay-per-view off in an amazing, with that energy, but I expect them to retain. We'll get back to them later this year, I'm sure. That leaves 3. Let's talk about the Women's Championship. A lot of intrigue with this one. So you've got Rhea and you've got Bianca. Bianca comes in, obviously with the momentum of winning the Battle Royal. Io Shirai, the last 2. Bianca survives, holds on a lot. Like the fact that those 2 had so much time at the end of the match to me is telling of what the uppers think of both of them going forward. Let's be honest. If you remember back from the Royal Rumble prediction video, I said that Bianca was one of my MVPs of the pay-per-view as far as having in terms of best showings. Man, had a great showing in the Women's Royal Rumble. Going back to Survivor Series, had a great showing in that match as well. I expect her to perform well at TakeOver. She always does. I have not been disappointed with her yet. Leave Sam on the pre-show alone. I already know he's going to be talking trash. He always does. Don't care. His opinion doesn't matter in a sense. Rhea. Obviously, We've seen her a lot on Raw of late, trying to coax a answer out of Charlotte. Even had a face-to-face between really the three of them on NXT, adding in Miss Belair on that too. But let's be honest. I am a huge Bianca Belair fan. I really, really am. Ripley's not dropping that title. One, if you're involving her with Charlotte, it is you have the assumption that Charlotte may be in the audience to watch the pay-per-view. The intrigue of maybe she gives an answer post-match. But one, I've already talked before, I don't expect Charlotte, if you've been watching me on stream, I don't expect Charlotte to challenge for that title. Rhea Ripley just knocked off the monster at the top of the mountain in Shayna Baszler. She's not dropping the title. This title change happened because there's been a lot of people a lot of women that we've thought. Candice LeRae, Io Shirai, Kairi Sane, even though she did, make her a two-time champ because she did beat her. And Bianca Belair was undefeated. Shayna's been able to conquer everyone, and now she drops the belt to Ripley. Ripley is not dropping the title that fast. She is in for a lengthy title reign. Most women champions have been in NXT, but she is in line for a lengthy reign, at least going into whatever takeover they have in the SummerSlam period. I feel like she has to be the champ for at least 6 months. So on that note, it'll be a good match. Retain. Bianca will put on a good show. I don't know what that means for her going forward with NXT. I'm kind of hoping she might get, moved to SmackDown. Please. But definitely, Ripley is going to retain the title. I feel more confident in that match than any other match on the card. Maybe Keith Lee too. But those two matches, I'm pretty confident the titles are going to retain, especially since they just were changed. But 100% Ripley wins. You can put money on that. That was also two. The one I want to talk about the most. The return of Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano. I said I wish I had this shirt on. I don't even think I had a clean one to kind of throw on before doing this video, which is sad I need to do laundry. And Mr. Balor, the man with no heart. This is going to be the match of the pay-per-view. I am clearly biased. You guys know I ride hard for Johnny Wrestling. Johnny Gargano is not only my favorite wrestler in NXT, he's my favorite wrestler in the WWE, and he is my favorite wrestler currently in the industry, active today. No one, there's people that are close, but to me, he's in a class of his own. TakeOver, he is the equivalent of Shawn Michaels, Mr. WrestleMania. This is what Johnny is at TakeOver. Doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win, as we've known, but he always has a 5-star match. Finn Balor gets defeated by The Fiend and then just gets dropped. He had kind of lost some steam coming into that match with Wyatt to begin with. Pops up on NXT. We all think he's going to be a face, challenge Adam Cole for the title. We obviously saw the betrayal. Know him, the Undisputed Era, in the ring with Tommaso, Gargano, and Balor, and then Balor with the Pele kick and knocked Johnny out for a bit. So Johnny, injury, unfortunately, has had to miss some time. I know he's been on the scene a little bit, of late in the NXT live shows. He's back. I watched him last week and enjoyed it on NXT live. NXT live. Live is in the house shows, but actual watching on USA, watching Johnny wrestle, got excited. And the same thing, like his matches are always good. This is going to be the show stealer. I'm going to go against my better judgment because, again, I always say the good guy always wins and a lot of times will win the feud, especially when you look at it with it not being a title in the picture, with there not being a title in the picture. But I feel there's going to be a chase. My instinct says Balor wins because Balor's momentum has been kind of stumped some. I know that he did win the triple threat with Lee and Tommaso to get a title shot against Cole, basically to help further this storyline between him and Johnny. But Balor just hasn't had that sizzle since coming to NXT that you would hope that he would have. So we come into this match with a weird situation. If Johnny wins, it boosts Johnny's standing, but it's going to drop Balor even more, in my opinion. Can Balor get that back quickly? Yes. I have no doubt that he can. The problem is that creates a really odd imbalance versus if you go the other way. Because remember, Johnny probably isn't going to be challenging for the championship soon because he already lost, 2 matches to Cole. But if you go this way and you have Balor win, Balor instantly gets that sizzle back. Johnny doesn't really drop much because we all know Johnny is Johnny Wrestling. He is one of the guys that defines NXT. A loss for him does nothing. Really, at TakeOver, a loss for him is par for the course. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lost. It doesn't hurt him in the big picture. If this feud continues, it'll give him the opportunity to chase. If it doesn't necessarily continue, their paths are still going to cross. But Balor only has he has stuff to gain and lose. Johnny has nothing to lose. Win or lose, he still comes out of this good. So I should be saying Balor's going to win, but because I'm a Johnny fan, I can't say otherwise. So I have to go with Johnny. But if Balor wins, I will 100% not be surprised. And then we have our last match, running a little long here. Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa. So we all know Cole, great year. #1 contender, loses at TakeOver Brooklyn. I was there, great night. But silver anniversary of NXT TakeOver. He wins the title, amazing 2 out of 3 falls match with Johnny after to defend. And he just keeps rolling. No matter who you put in front of him, he knocks him down. Entered a challenger. Had to vacate the title due to injury, has a surgery. A lot of people did not know if he was going to be able to come back. It's very dangerous. This area right here is dangerous when it comes to wrestling. It messes with so much stuff. Back and spine are important too. But this one right here is very, very scary. Anything above the shoulders in general. But the neck is scary because it can affect so much and quality of life after. You already take so many bumps as it is anyway, but when you have neck issues, things can go bad really, really fast. It's part of the reason why you see some of the like guys like Edge being out for so long. They just would not clear. That's a whole nother video in itself of why Edge was able to come back. But the neck injuries are something that they will not play around with because that is some scary stuff. The liability I can imagine would be. Oof. So, Tommaso. Everything in me wants him to regain the championship. Cole has had the belt for a while. Looking at over 6 months. I'm trying to remember the exact. I want to say it was like June that he won the title. So you're looking at 9 months. 9 months. That's too many. If it's June, that's 7. Yeah, about 9. Getting close to 9 months. Is it time for the reign to end? Is he the guy to take the title? My answer is yes. Now, I am you guys may not believe it, but I actually really do like Adam Cole. And I love the Undisputed Era. So this is a 2-part answer, and this is going to contradict something I said earlier. I need to see how this pay-per-view plays out to see what happens going forward. If the tag titles are dropped, I think you can move Cole dropping that title up significantly. Now, I'm going to go into this match. I say Tommaso is going to win. And I just have a feeling I feel like for him losing the title the way that he did, I'm not 100% sure, but also they wrestle a much lighter schedule too. So he is going to be able to get back in and do his thing versus being on Raw and SmackDown where it's a more hectic schedule, more shows. I feel like I don't want to say owed to him, but I really feel like he gave himself for the business, so the business gives back to him. It should be a good match. Cole is a great guy to wrestle with. They should have good chemistry in the ring, back and forth. 100% expect interference, because why wouldn't there be? It's the Undisputed Era. But there are enough soldiers on the other side. Velveteen Dream, Johnny's his friend, and it seems that they've patched things up. Um, I think Tommaso's going to win. He will have his moment. He will get Goldy back, and we end the pay-per-view on a good note. If that happens, then that probably means that they lost the tag titles, and the Undisputed Era would be really stripped within, a handful of weeks, be stripped of all of the titles. And then we'll see what happens after that. How do they combat it? We know WrestleMania is coming up. There's still work for them to do in the short term, but I'm planting the seed. If they lose all the titles, I would not be surprised the Raw after, the SmackDown after, to hear that theme music. But for now, that is going to be it. I don't really have anything else to do. I need sleep. This went a little longer than I expected. I apologize. So just to recap, Cole drops the NXT Championship. I have Gargano winning. Hart overhead. Rhea Ripley retains the Women's NXT Championship. Keith Lee retains the North American Championship. The Undisputed Era retain the tag team titles. And Dakota Kai wins the street fight. Those are my 6 picks. If you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. I'll be talking about it Sunday on stream. The link will be in the chat or in the description. Also there on the bottom of the stream ended thing. I don't have anything specifically for YouTube, unfortunately. Actually, wait, yeah, I do. What am I talking about? I have a banner. So unprofessional. You can tell I'm tired. Regardless, we'll talk about it some on Sunday. I look forward to the pay-per-view. My plan is to watch it Monday. I will do a recap video hopefully by Tuesday. I do owe Strikeout 2 videos because he redeemed Salt Point. So I owe him a Vickie Guerrero kind of historical review. Expect that within the next 72 hours. The other one is the top 10 big wrestling moments. Not top 10, but 10 big wrestling moments. So this is nice because it gets to be subjective, sorry. So I've been kind of thinking, I'll be honest with you, I have 7 and I have 10 that are on the cutting block. And it's going to be a 2-part video because one in itself could probably take an entire video, maybe 3 parts. That way I give ample time to each to explain why I feel they're important. I'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know. But for now, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully ESL won't be a mess. Fingers crossed. It seems that they had things better planned this time. Enjoy TakeOver Portland. I will see you guys Sunday on stream before, but we definitely will be talking about it Monday night. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good one.